The Old Man at the Fort, a tale of hidden blessings. Once upon a time, in a small village near the northern border of China, there lived a wise old man. The villagers all called him Sai Wang. Sai Wang was a gentle and quiet man. He always had a warm smile in his eyes. More than anything, he loved two things: taking care of his horses and watching his young son grow up happily in their courtyard. Everyone in the village was fond of Sai Wang because no matter what happened, he always remained calm and peaceful. One bright and sunny morning, Sai Wang went to the stable as usual to take his horses out to graze. Suddenly, he gasped. His finest, fastest white horse was gone. The stable door was wide open, leaving only a trail of footprints leading far away into the distance. "Oh no, Sai Wang!" "Terrible news!" shouted his neighbor Uncle Jang, running over in panic. "Your beautiful horse has escaped beyond the border into the wild northern lands. The journey there is dangerous and far. You'll never get it back." Soon other villagers gathered around. They looked at each other, feeling deeply sorry for the old man. "What a loss! Such a magnificent horse! What bad luck, Sai Wang. Please don't be too sad." Facing their sympathy, Sai Wang simply offered a gentle smile. He shook his head softly and spoke with total calm. "Thank you all for your kindness, but my horse ran away. This looks like a misfortune today, but who knows? It might turn out to be a blessing in disguise." The neighbors were confused. Losing a horse is a total loss. How could that ever be a good thing? "Poor Sai Wang must be out of his mind with grief," they whispered, shaking their heads as they walked away. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Slowly, everyone forgot about the lost horse, until one early morning, a thunderous sound of hooves echoed at the village entrance. Someone yelled, "Look, that's Sai Wang's white horse." The villagers rushed out and could not believe their eyes. Not only had the white horse returned on its own, but right behind it followed a magnificent wild black stallion. It was tall, strong, with a shiny coat, a rare, valuable horse from the northern grasslands. The neighbors crowded around Sai Wang's house, cheering and shouting, "Sai Wang, you are so lucky. Your horse didn't just come back, it brought back a fortune. What a wonderful blessing." Everyone celebrated, convinced that Sai Wang had received a great stroke of luck. Yet Sai Wang gently stroked the black stallion's mane. His expression remained calm. He looked at the crowd and said softly, "Gaining a fine horse for free certainly seems like a happy event, but who knows? It might bring us trouble tomorrow." The villagers scratched their heads. "The old man overthinks everything. How could getting a free splendid horse ever be a bad thing?" Sai Wang's son absolutely adored the new black stallion. The horse was fast and powerful. Riding it across the open fields, feeling the wind against his face, became the young man's favorite thing to do every day. "Giddy up, giddy up." He practiced his riding skills daily, going faster and faster, feeling prouder by the minute. Sai Wang reminded him many times, "Son, be careful. Do not ride too fast." But the excited youth merely waved his hand and paid no attention. Then one day, the son decided to jump the stallion over a wide ditch. The black horse leaped high. "Ah! Ah!" The young man fell heavily from the high saddle. He lay on the ground, pale and clutching his leg in agony. Sai Wang rushed over and carried his son home. The doctor examined him and sighed. The young man's leg was severely broken. Although his life was saved, his leg would never fully heal. He would walk with a limp for the rest of his life. Hearing the news, the neighbors came to visit. Looking at the poor young man in bed, they sighed. "Oh, what a tragedy. If only that black horse had never come." "Sai Wang, your son is crippled now. How will he live his life?" "This is truly a terrible disaster." Suppressing his own heartbreak, Sai Wang gently tucked his son into bed. He turned to his sympathetic neighbors and spoke once more in a warm, steady voice. "Thank you all for caring. My son breaking his leg is indeed heartbreaking, but who knows? This might bring us a blessing in the future." This time, the neighbors didn't even bother arguing. They thought the old man was simply in denial. How could a broken leg ever be a blessing? A year passed. Suddenly, a crisis broke out along the border. Enemy forces launched a massive invasion, charging across the frontier. The entire region was in grave danger. The flames of war quickly reached Saiwang's village. The army issued an urgent draft order. Every healthy young man in the village had to take up arms immediately and march off to battle. Wailing filled the village. Mothers cried for their sons. Wives wept for their husbands. Everyone knew how brutal the war was. Out of 10 men who went to the battlefield, 9 would never return. One by one, the young men were marched away. Uncle Zhang's son, Aunt Li's son. When the army officers arrived at Saiwang's house, they saw the young man lying in bed. Recognizing that his leg was severely injured and that he could not stand or fight, the officers shook their heads and moved on. Because of his broken leg, Saiwang's son was spared from the draft. He remained safely at home. Before long, the war finally came to an end. Just as everyone had feared, almost all the young men from the village who went to war perished on the battlefield. Many families were broken and consumed by grief. Only Saiwang's family remained whole. Because the son had stayed behind, father and son were able to care for each other and live through those painful times peacefully. Only then did the villagers finally understand the deep wisdom behind Saiwang's words. And that is the origin of the famous idiom, "The old man lost his horse. How could one know it wasn't a blessing?" In our own lives, don't we encounter similar moments? Sometimes you might lose a favorite toy or get a disappointing test score, feeling that something terrible has happened. But perhaps because of that setback, you learn to cherish what you have, or you work harder and become stronger. On the other hand, when everything goes smoothly and good fortune comes easily, getting too proud might lead to unexpected trouble. Life is like a river with rising and falling tides. When facing hardships, there is no need to fall into despair, for a hidden blessing may follow. And when experiencing good fortune, stay humble and calm. When we meet life with an open and peaceful heart, every single experience becomes a valuable gift. Thank you for listening. See you next time.